Hi, this is OtakuSolutions. In this video, we've structured BipedPlus as simply as possible. But depending on your production, differences may still occur. You've purchased BipedPlus, without extensibility and flexibility, it's no use. Since BipedPlus generates based on structure, even minor differences can make it unusable, such a waste. In this video, I'll explain the BipedPlus structure and show you how to adjust it for customizing. Let's get started. Here's BipedPlus. The result after building from the Build tab looks like this. In 3ds Max, the scene is divided into Skin Bone, System Group, Rig Group, and Modeling Group. The entire structure is just these 4 groups. Place all of your original character models into the Modeling Group. The System Group holds helper nodes that support the rigging system, ones that are independent of any hierarchy. GRP RigModule stores arm, leg, and head parts in a modular format, like Lego blocks. Root skin is the skin bone. The structure is Skin Bone, System Group, Rig Group, and Modeling Group. This structure isn't complicated, just put everything into the Modeling Group. Don't get confused, what you see here is the hierarchy view. The most important thing in rigging is the hierarchy view. The layer view is only needed when organizing later. The foundation is always the hierarchy view. Modeling data goes here, and you generally don't need to touch the system group directly. Nodes that must exist in the scene but shouldn't be touched by animators go into the system group. Skin bone is the final skeleton used when exporting to a game engine. The parts you'll actually work with are GRP custom space and GRP admin space inside GRP RigModule. The admin space group contains elements like space BIP pelvis, space chest, and space control pelvis. These are the system-level space group elements built as part of BipedPlus core structure. These require an understanding of hierarchy, but you generally don't need to touch them directly. Ultimately, these outputs represent the positions of the final bones. More simply put, BipedPlus' strength is that stretch squash works freely. To achieve these positions, there's a method that first inherits the biped position, then applies a secondary influence. The space groups for that calculation are stored here. A space group shares the exact same position, rotation, and scale as its node. This means the transforms are completely identical. Move it like this, and you'll see the positions change. This concept belongs to the admin space area used by senior riggers. There's not much you'll need to touch here. What matters is the final bone position and rotation space group data calculated by BipedPlus, all collected here. For example, if you want to add a bracelet to an arm, just create a hand space group and place it here. In BipedPlus, select Skin Hand and use Create Space by selection. A space group will be generated. Place that space group here, and store all bracelet-related nodes inside it. It's called GRP Custom Space because everything is placed following the final bone. BipedPlus' job is to build this large hierarchy structure without errors. Once that's done, its role is complete. From this foundation, add your customizations freely. For a cape, create a spine 2 space and put your custom nodes inside. And that's truly all there is to it. The space group node perfectly matches in position, and the elements you work with are the space group and custom space. BipedPlus top-level structure is GRP mod, GR size, GRP RigModule, and root skin. Within GRP RigModule or GRP custom space and GRP admin space, the elements you'll actually touch are custom space and skin bone. Start from here and you'll be fine. As you work with BipedPlus nodes, the role and structure of each will naturally start to click. Once comfortable, gradually expand into the system node area, but never, ever touch the info nodes. BipedPlus info nodes store layer data and system data. That's what keeps the picker and Ani utils working correctly. To reiterate, just focus on correctly matching GRP custom space and skin bone as you work. If adding a cape, also add a controller and place it in skin space too with the same matrix. You might wonder, why not put it in seg? Because animators can apply scale there. The positions match the space group, but the scale can end up different. The support tool shows spine 2 scale as 1 while seg bone may read 0.67, position is 0, 0, 0 in local space. In 3ds Max it appears in world space, but positions match, only scale differs. These are fine details, and this course can't cover everything in depth. Don't be intimidated, just put it in spine 2. As you gradually understand each step, it will feel straightforward. Watch this video 2 to 3 times and try putting it into an engine, the structure will click. This video covered the BipedPlus base structure. Next, I'll guide you through naming customization, building with your naming conventions. This has been Otaku Solutions. Thank you.